morning on WTOP 10 Nightly News. A number of engaging campus events were held earlier today, helping students move further in their college careers.
And we'll fill you in on all of the exciting plans ahead this weekend.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Logan Russo.
And I'm Emma White.
Good evening. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Johnson Hall will be closed for the rest of the academic year after complaints of mold in many of the dorms. A campus-wide email was sent out this morning reporting, quote, higher than normal levels of mold in the building. Outside experts will be brought in to identify the cause and guide the cleanup process.
In the meantime, students who reside in Johnson Hall will receive their new room assignments by email within the next 24 hours. They will have until October 10th to complete their move. Residence Life and Housing staff will provide support and resources throughout the process. The university says health and safety remain the top priority, and they are asking for understanding as the transitions move forward. Campus officials say the Lakeside Dining Hall is not affected by the mold and is still safe to go to and enjoy.
The second annual Major and Minor Fair came to the Marano Campus Center today. Academic departments and advisors met at the Wiley Concourse to help students with their questions on the major and minors they're interested in, or maybe just wondering about. If you could not attend the fair, no worries. You can always contact the Advisement Center or Career Services with any questions.
A LinkedIn workshop was held today in Marano Campus Center for SUNY Oswego faculty and staff. Organized by the Institute for Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Transformative Practice, the workshop allowed attendees to learn how to leverage LinkedIn for professional connections and career advancements. Carlos E. Roldan, a global career advisor at Syracuse University, was featured at the workshop.
An $80 million building at SUNY Oswego is still falling short. Student access to equipment has dwindled since the opening of Oswego's newest facility.
Our Emily Mike reports Hewitt Hall's The Cage is facing heavy cuts in both student workers and hours of operation.
Equipment officially opened its doors last week. However, compared to recent years, the Cage has faced significant cuts to both hours and staffing, which is slimming opportunities for student producers. Broadcast engineer Sean Secor had to adapt quickly to this change.
I had kind of no restrictions, like we didn't know what our budget really was, so I was just scheduling people as much as I could. Basically what happened was we moved over to Hewitt and I had all these grand plans of hiring more people, and then had a conversation with our department chair that we realized that we have a much smaller budget than what we had originally thought.
As of now, the Cage is operating 23 hours per week compared to last year's 60 hours a week. These changes also pose new challenges for student workers. Senior Cage employee Nate Hand says that the cuts are discouraging.
Last semester, I was working a lot more than I do work this semester. With the hours being cut, it's a lot harder to justify being there as much as I was. And it's also harder feeling like I'm making an impact.
Though the Cage's prospects might seem grim, Nate assures students not to worry.
Make time for it, try to plan around the hours that the Cage is open. I'd be proactive rather than reactive.
Despite these limited hours, the Cage's staff is working hard to ensure that students will have enough time to use the Cage. Emily Mike, Oswego Now.
You can stop by the Cage 5 on Monday through Thursday and 12 to 3 on Friday to reserve and sign out equipment. The cooler temperatures certainly feel like fall.
I don't know, I thought I saw temperatures going back up to the 80s. Let's check your local forecast with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Eric Drayton.
Hey, thank you guys. I know that it is fall, but unfortunately we're still getting those summer temperatures and it just doesn't make any sense. Is it really fall? It's been almost a week into it. We have some showers next week that may end the drought that we've been experiencing for almost a month now. This fall's fall, it's summer temperatures, but we're just not getting the fall that we wanted. Oh, pretty leaves are still green, and the wild wind that we've been getting the past few days, it's creating some crazy wind chill, so we're gonna see if the wind will chill. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Eric. Throughout the month of October, the Rice Creek Field Station will be hosting events, hosting evening bat walks. The first one will take place on Saturday. Junior naturalists and their families are invited to walk the trails at the station in search of bats. Visitors will use a special device that tracks the bat's ultrasonic vocals. If you're interested in attending, you are encouraged to bring a headlamp and sturdy walking shoes.
Walking around campus this weekend might look a bit busier than usual. Saturday, the campus will be hosting their fall open house. Across campus, students, faculty, and organizations will be tabling to showcase what they're all about. Campus officials will be holding a number of assemblies to discuss topics like admissions, financial aid, student life, and more.
Still ahead tonight, the Oswego Farmers Market is coming to an end for the season.
Plus, a travel advisory to look out for with a road closure. Stay tuned.
You like action, romance,
If you're watching this,
and highbrow humor.
surface is this?
Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
There's only one place to turn. Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Look at the number of disasters in the U.S. Chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts. It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to.
Good evening, everyone. I'm your WTOP meteorologist, Eric Drayton. Right now in Oswego, it is 58 degrees and it's a dew point of 47. The humidity is a little high at 66, so it might feel just a little bit warmer. The humidity is also a little high. The wind is going southeast at 2 miles per hour, so nothing forward to look to wind-wise. We're taking a look at the seasons right now, and unfortunately, we're just stuck in this false fall. These summer temperatures, they should have been gone. All our leaves are still green. It's just not going to happen. But in lighter news, if you were out at the lake last night, you may have looked up and seen the auroras. So at least there's that to look forward to in the coming weeks. If you want to take advantage of this summer temperature, you can still mow your grass. It's still looking good for the next 4 days. But if you do go out, just keep in mind that the wind is staying high. Temperature might come down a little because of that wind chill. It's going to be 7 miles per hour, 6 miles per hour, but as you see around midday, it's going to come right back down to 5 miles per hour. That's what we're looking at for the next 12 hours. The futurecast, right now we are looking at the 58 degrees in Oswego. And as you move on, it'll be 76, move up to the 60s. You'll see it goes from that lower temperature up to that higher temperature as we move throughout the day. So starting off that weekend, it may be a little cold. Moving into Saturday, however, it's going to be 51 again, so you might want to prepare yourself a jacket or a sweater, whatever you want. And as you move into Saturday afternoon, evening, jumps right back up. So there's those summer temperatures we were talking about. So keep a jacket nearby, don't keep a jacket nearby, do what you want to do. The 7-day forecast, we're looking at mid-high 70s moving into the weekend. Monday, it's going to jump right back up to almost the 80s, 78, and you'll see that as we move further into the week, we have some of that rain that we were looking forward to. There's just a chance of that. But unfortunately, around this time next week, it will drop right back down to the 60s. So again, sweater, no sweater, do what you want to do. That's all for my weather report. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Eric. From Route 69A to U.S. Route 11, a road closure is planned from 12 p.m. on Saturday, October 4th through Friday, October 10th, 5 p.m. The CSX railroad crossing in the town of Parrish is due for repairs. However, the construction depends on the weather and is subject to change based on conditions. Construction asks for drivers to follow the signed detours that will be directing traffic and urges drivers to slow down and drive responsibly in the work zones.
Little Falls Cheese Festival is celebrating its 10th year being the biggest cheese festival in New York. Happening this Saturday, October 4th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., this year's milestone promises to be the cheesiest yet. With over 120 different varieties of cheese to try, nearly half the vendors being cheesemakers from all across the upstate New York region. Visitors can also purchase handmade goods, taste test craft beverages, and try gourmet foods. For more information, go to littlefallscheesefestival.com.
Another festival happening this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The 5th annual Fall Festival returns to Fulton. Admission to the festival is free with activities including bounce houses, kids' games and prizes, trackless train rides, lawn games, and face painting. There will also be multiple live music performances throughout the day. For accessibility services, there will be free park and ride shuttle transportation running continuously for the event. For more information, go to thecityofFultonNY.gov. Established in the 1970s as the Oswego Farmers Market has been a long-time staple of the city. For decades, it has been more than just a place to shop.
As the season comes to an end and people pack up their tents, our reporter Julianne Fike stops by and sees how people are feeling.
On First Street to listen to live music, browse local produce, and spend time outside with friends and family, which is Justin Jones's favorite part.
The weather, it's Oswego, and it's beautiful in the summer.
As it cools down and fall starts to roll in, classic summer events like the Farmers Market are wrapping up. This season brought a lot of community connection, and for many, it was their first time participating.
So I think coming to the farmers market gains us a great deal of exposure to people, especially being a first-year farm. We weren't really known to anyone. Building relationships with people every time we're here. So obviously that builds the relationships that we will need to build our business.
From farmers to crafters to food trucks, when asked if they would be back next year, all the answers were the same.
That's the plan.
I think so, yes.
Yep, I'll come back every year. I love it here.
I'll definitely be back next year.
These streets might not be closed and tents won't fill both sides for the rest of the winter, but vendors are finding another way to stay connected to the community. For Justin Jones, the outdoor market coming to an end doesn't mean his business will also have to stop.
I just move into other markets that are indoors.
Other vendors are using social media and their websites to stay connected with the community until the Oswego Farmers Market starts back up again next May. Julianne Fike, WTOP 10.
Today was the last day of the Oswego Farmers Market. The season will start back up again next May.
A major redevelopment is underway at the downtown Oswego building housing the Children's Museum of Oswego. Developer Edward Alberts plans to purchase and renovate the 30,000 square foot property, investing $2.6 million in upgrades like plumbing, HVAC, and apartments. To support the project, the Oswego County IDA approved over $260,000 in tax exemptions in a 25-year pilot agreement. Officials say the deal secures a key tourism asset that couldn't afford the necessary building repairs on its own. The museum will remain as a long-term tenant under a 25-year lease, ensuring its future downtown.
When WTOP 10 Nightly News continues, a terrifying collision at LaGuardia Airport.
And a building crumbles down in the Bronx.
Jets.
Of all the questions.
If only we had someone who could tell us what we should and shouldn't watch.
Well, do we have a show for you?
Who are you?
What are you doing in my bag? On Be Kind and Rewind, we will go through and review all your favorite movie franchises and tell you which ones you should and shouldn't watch from the perspective of normal movie fans. Well, be sure to check out Be Kind and Rewind on WTOP 10.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News.
In consumer news, cleanup efforts are underway after a New York building collapsed in the Bronx. Authorities say that the building's chimney came down after an explosion in the boiler. An investigation into the matter is underway, and police say no injuries were reported from the incident. In the meantime, residents have been booked into hotels. Officials are hoping to have the building services back up and running before the weekend hits.
All of New York State is under a burn ban until the middle of October at the very least. In an effort to prevent wildfire and conserve water, Governor Kathy Hochul has announced that the burning of brush and debris outside is prohibited. This also includes campfires and open fires used for cooking. Hochul says that small outdoor fire pits are allowed. The ban will be in effect until October 15th, and Hochul aims to reevaluate the situation from there.
Governor Kathy Hochul is also suing the federal government over Homeland Security following funding being slashed. Hochul sent a letter to Kristi Noem, the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, demanding to know why the federal government cut $187 million in a Homeland Security grant program for New York. New York has joined a lawsuit with 11 other states to sue the U.S. Department of Homeland Security over the funding cuts. A frightening scene occurred at New York's LaGuardia Airport.
2 regional Delta jets collided on the ground, and the incident is now under investigation.
Flashing at New York's LaGuardia Airport Wednesday night after 2 Delta Airlines regional jets collided on the ground, the wing of one aircraft slamming into the cockpit windows of the other.
When you feel the front of the plane just kind of get dragged to the right, and you can physically feel like in your seat you moving to the right.
One person was taken to the hospital, according to airport officials, with a pilot heard on air traffic control audio saying a flight attendant had injured her knee.
We call these incursions, runway incursions, and they're about 4 a day. Usually they don't hit.
The collision happened between Flight 5047 and Flight 5155 at the intersection of 2 taxiways. The Federal Aviation Administration said air traffic control had told Flight 5155 to wait to cross the intersection and yield to other aircraft. The agency now investigating the incident.
There are very clear rules for pilots taxiing, one plane turning in front of the other, depending upon the clearances, and ground control would have said who was cleared to go where. But it's like the rules of the road. One plane has the right of way, the other was turning in front of it, and so they will figure it out in a hurry.
Delta released a statement saying in part, Delta will work with all relevant authorities to review what occurred as the safety of our customers and people comes before all else. We apologize to our customers for the experience. In Washington, Michael Yoshida.
Passengers who survived the collision were escorted off the planes, provided hotel rooms, and were booked onto new flights. Now for a quick look at Lakers sports with WTOP 10 sports reporter Michelle Smith.
Michelle, what do we have to look forward to this weekend?
Thanks, guys. The Oswego Lakers are hitting the road this weekend. Between tomorrow and Sunday, we have field hockey. We have both soccer teams, we have women's volleyball, and we have golf. Every team playing this weekend is away. Field hockey and volleyball are both coming off of wins this week, also on the road. Golf is heading to the Nazareth University Invite, their first outing since the Oswego Fall Invitational. Both the men's and women's soccer teams are coming off of wins, which you'll hear more about in just a bit. The Lakers aren't the only athletes on the move. Over at Oswego Speedway, racers are preparing for Super Dirt Week 53. The week-long event is considered racing's biggest party. 292 racers have traveled to Oswego from as far away as Brisbane, Australia to participate. The event draws thousands of fans to Oswego County to watch races, participate in fan events, and meet their favorite racers. For the first time, Oswego will host a town-wide block party featuring live music, food vendors, and more. The event will close down West 1st Street between Bridge and Oneida Streets. The block party is family-friendly and free for all from 4 to 8 p.m. Oswego residents are encouraged to join in the fun, whether they're staying for the races or racing home before the main events begin. That's all for me. Be sure to stick around for after the break for more.
Get rid of all the questions.
If only we had someone who could tell us what we should and shouldn't watch.
Well, do we have a show for you? Who are you?
What are you doing in my bed?
On Be Kind and Rewind, we will go through and review all your favorite movie franchises and tell you which ones you should and shouldn't watch from the perspective of normal movie fans. Well, be sure to check out Be Kind and Rewind on WTOP 10.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Rob Finger. The Oswego Lakers men's soccer team took their first conference win of the year as they narrowly escaped with a 1-0 victory over Canton. TJ Ellis was the lone goal scorer of the day after putting a team-high 6 shots on the day. Though credit must be given to the Kangaroos goalkeeper John Bovair as he kept his Canton team in the game with 6 saves to his name. But it was the Lakers that took the win in the end. Speaking of Lakers winning, the Oswego Lakers women's soccer team also kicked off against Canton yesterday with a pounding 6-0 victory at the Laker turf. Goals were scored by 6 individual scorers, including Olivia Davis, Kaylee Elliott, Brianna Winkler, Sabrina Schmidt, Luna Catano, and Jillian Brosnan. The Lakers put 35 shots on the board, with 20 of them on goal, all while letting not a single shot come from the Kangaroos. The Lakers win, and Canton continues their winless season, now at 10 losses in a row. Now let's head to the pros now and hit the hardwood as the New York Knicks ticked off their preseason over in Abu Dhabi by taking a 15-point win over the Sixers. The Knicks only ran their starters for just over a quarter and let their bench players take over later in the game. Jalen Brunson therefore only put up 6 points, while the top point getter was Miles McBride with 12 in 21 minutes on the floor. Mitchell Robinson was also an absolute vacuum, scooping up 16 rebounds in his 18 minutes on the floor. The Knicks play the Sixers again this Saturday in the Middle East with tip-off at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Taking you out to the ball game now, the Detroit Tigers finished the job earlier today as they took a 6-3 victory over the Cleveland Guardians to win the wild card. Yesterday, the Guardians kept themselves alive with a 6-1 victory, but it was all for naught as Dylan Dingler went off, hitting a home run and an RBI just 3 at-bats earlier today. Jack Flaherty put up 4 Ks in the 4 innings he pitched, and the Tigers will go on to face the Seattle Mariners in the ALDS on Saturday. It was a warm evening in the Bronx, but a day of redemption for the Yanks as Bernie Williams, the legend himself, threw out the first pitch for Game 2 of the wild card. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning, and Ben Rice drills this one, a laser to the short porch, and the Yankees go up 2-0. Top of the third, bases loaded, and Trevor Story places this one perfectly just short of Trent Grisham. He fields it, but it's 2 runs batted in for the Sox. We are tied in the Bronx. Alex Bregman at the plate now, grounds this one over to Chisholm, to Volpe, out, over to first, and he gets him. The Yankees are certainly not out of this one. All rise, the judge presides, off the tip of his bat into left field, and Jared Duran drops it. Trent Grisham sprints for the plate, makes it home, and it's a Yankees lead once more. It wouldn't stay that way, however, as Trevor Story's bat stayed hot, got himself a home run. Yanks made it back, though, with a daring run from Jazz later in the game. The Yankees would force a Game 3, which is going on right now. It is currently 3-0 Yankees in the bottom of the fourth, 1 out, and bases loaded as well for the Yankees. It is a good time to be a Yankees fan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, stick around because we've got more coming up after this break. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
If you like action, romance,
If you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
surface is this.
Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Hugo Hall will be holding a cat and crochet event tomorrow on the first floor.
Anyone interested can stop by to take part in some cat therapy and participate in some arts and crafts.
This week's Pet of the Week, we have two furry friends, Java and Luxray.
Java is a 7-year-old tuxedo cat, and Luxray is a 4-year-old polydactyl black cat. Polydactyl meaning she has thumbs.
Java was rescued from the SPCA, loves to cuddle, find new friends, and frequently climbs on the counter.
Luxury was introduced to the family as a kitten who loves to play with all her toys, explore new places, and protect her loved ones.
I love that. You know, I used to have cats. They're sadly not with me anymore, but man, cats, they're just chill. They lay around. They're
I was
just
about
cool.
to say, I've always kind of had the half a mind to get a cat. The only thing that stopped me is my father's allergic to them.
That'll do
So-
it. Yeah, that'll do it.
I just got a cat this summer.
Oh, really?
Got a brand new kitten.
What's its name?
Mochi. And I've had
Mochi.
one for a really long time. Herschel. So I had
Oh,
two.
I like that.
many
Any
pets.
final sports, Rob, by the way? I know that the score just updated on the Yankees
Yeah,
game.
4-0 Yankees right now. Aaron Judge is currently at bat, although it is 2 outs. Bottom of the fourth, 2 men on at first and second. And like I said, Yankees 4-0 lead. Still early in the game, though. We're still only about halfway in, so fingers crossed. Knock on wood, Yankees fans.
Any final weather check? Anything coming up interesting?
All I know is that right now you want to keep an eye on all your weather apps. Make sure that you've got a sweater nearby, and in the afternoon be prepared to shed it because that sun is a killer sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say, that warm weekend's, it's going to creep up on us. I'm going to be sweating. Well, that's our report for tonight.
Be sure to stay tuned for late OPs.
Thank you for watching.
Have a great night, everyone.